All right, welcome everybody. This is Zaxter99 again with another first play on launch day. We have yet another Vampire Survivors-like game. I have Addie with me here to help me take a look at this game. Hi, Addie. All right, so Addie is playing a lot of these games as well. I'm buying a lot of these games on my alternate Steam account, which I'm allowing Addie to play some of these games on. And so she's playing a lot of these Vampire Survivor games, and so far, she's played Vampire Survivors, but she likes Crimson Dawn, I think, the best out of all of them. So, one thing that's going to be interesting is if we can find one of these Vampire Survivor games that I think is better than Vampire Survivors. I did like the last one better, and that was actually Robot Resistors about 4 days ago. So I did really like that one. I don't think Addie's played a whole lot of that one yet. But so far, I still think she's pretty firm on Crimson Dawn. But how many more games am I going to find, or that Addie is going to find as well, where we think the game is better than Vampire Survivors? Like right now, guys, Vampire Survivors has over 5,000 people playing it. I just looked at it. I think 5,500 people are playing Vampire Survivors right now. And this is a game that launched in early access back just in December of 2021. So around that time, around December 17th of 2022, around that 1 year period, 1 year anniversary for Vampire Survivors, Addie and I are going to take a look at probably the top 12 Vampire Survivor-like games, and we're going to go through all of them. We're going to make sure we've both played all of those games for at least 2 hours each, and we're going to kind of have a competition, a battle royale, if you would, between all the Vampire Survivor-like games and see where they all score. So that'll be fun. But these things are just coming out like crazy. Addie knows that. Like sometimes, like today, I think 3 of them came out, and I think most weeks we're getting anywhere from 5 to 10 games like Vampire Survivors come out. Yeah, every single week. So this one's by IndieGala, which is obviously a key selling website. They have some pretty good bundles. They do offer some pretty good discounts, and they're very respectable. They have some great deals on both indie games and some AAA games on their website. If you haven't checked out IndieGala, I highly recommend you check their website out, especially if you're looking to, inflate your game library on Steam. So anyway, this one's called Super Total Carnage with no spaces. Almost looks like something a foreign indie developer would make, but I see they're doing that on purpose. Like, so many foreign developers who are trying to use Google Translate or whatever, forget spaces and don't do grammar right or whatever. But no, this is done intentionally. And it's another $3 game. So many of these games are priced at $3. Some of them are priced 4 and even 5. A lot of them in early access. And right now, this game is getting 5 user reviews, and I think a couple of those are negatives. Yeah, somebody said it's too early, and yeah, just one negative early review. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at it, guys. Super Total Carnage. We'll take a look at this and see if this one is worth your $3. See how it stacks up against, Vampire Survivors and my recently Robot Resistors, which I loved, and see where this one, comes in right now. And we'll do that. We'll be back right after this.
Zaxter 99.
Alright guys, when we launch the game, this is what we get. Super Total Carnage. I like the name. How do you feel about the name, Maddie?
It's okay. I will say, I mean, that's just me being a little petty. I don't like how the carnage is in red and then the background's red, so it kind of blends into it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
That's just me being nitpicky though, but...
So one thing I'm also seeing here is that it requires the arrow keys to go through the menus, but WASD doesn't work. So why would you have a game that defaults to WASD but not have WASD at least work in the menu? So that's one thing that's an easy fix as a developer to IndieGala. I would definitely make WASD work in the menu as well. I'm just saying. So let's go ahead and take a look at the power-ups here. And not a whole lot. We do have, 11 of them? And armor, magnet, growth. I mean, a lot of these are really similar to other games like this. Cooldown, reduces the cooldown. And you can refund them. But it looks like a lot of these cost like... That one's 5,000 for the amount. Area 300. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and go back, and we're just going to go to start. Right out. So it looks like we have one character to start out with. Pepafet is a former latex kind of guy who turned his life around to help save others. He did slay at least 10,000 creatures in the last year, and he's an excellent choice for this adventure. Okay. You convinced me. Let's go. Alright, so now I changed from the arrow keys to WASD, but it's not working. WASD is not moving me. Okay. Hang on. Why are my WASD keys not working? I wonder if it's because my controller is plugged in. Let me try my controller real quick. Nope, the controller is not working either. Okay. Well, that's a little bit weird. Yep, I can't do anything here, guys. Oh, that's working. Okay, enter. Arrows? Arrow keys and WASD is not moving me. Alright, so let's go ahead and I guess go out of here. Yep, quit. Okay, let's relaunch that game, guys. Alright, press to start, or press start. Okay, hit space. It looks like it kept the settings, but yeah, we kept the settings, so that's good. We'll hit escape. We'll go back. We'll just hit start here. We'll hit enter to start. Wait a minute. Yeah. WASD is not moving me, guys. I can fire with... Okay, so for whatever reason, the game seems really broken. Alright guys, sometimes when you see games like this or really weird issues like this where you can't move or whatever, all kinds of really weird issues with Steam games, one thing I would recommend, and this may not fix it this time, we'll see, but anytime you see a really weird issue with an indie game especially, or any kind of game, a lot of times if you just restart Steam, it'll fix it. So I'll try that. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back, guys, and I did reboot Steam, and one of the things I did is I unplugged my controller. So hopefully one of those fixed it. We'll see here. I'm going to go ahead and hit space here. Looks like it saved my sound and everything like that, so we're good there. And wish me luck, guys. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and hit enter again, and hopefully we can move. Yes! So that fixed it. So it's either restarting Steam or unplugging my controller. One of those two fixed the game. So hopefully if you guys have the same problem, try unplugging the controller if you have one plugged in, and restarting Steam, and hopefully one of those will fix your game. Okay, so we got hit. So it's an auto fire. We can't control when we fire. There we go. So I don't know that I like that you have to turn. So there was another one of these games, Addy, that did this, where you had to turn to face the enemies to shoot them. And I can't even look up. So that's a problem. So we can only move left and right. It doesn't show our character going up. So I can't shoot up and I can't shoot down. Well, what if the enemies are below me or above me?
You better not let them get that way.
I guess not. So again, I don't like this. I don't like the fact that I can't use WASD to move through the menus. I have to switch from WASD over to my arrow keys to move through the menus. Like, why would they not have WASD? Like, why can't I use W and S to move through these menus? Why do I have to switch for these menus to the arrow keys to make a choice? That's just bad. Okay, so we got our birds, which is kind of copying Vampire Survivors, like the big flock of bats or whatever. Yeah, this game definitely needs some work. I mean, I can see the potential here, but they should have played the game.
The firing is really slow, too.
Yeah. The birds are moving too fast as well. Like, the birds, I move way too slow to avoid flocks of birds that are moving that fast. I just feel like this game wasn't tested nearly enough before they launched it today. I know it's in early access, but... Oh, we're shooting up now? I'm kind of surprised that this isn't better, considering this is coming from IndieGala. I would think they would have more pride than to launch something with their name on it in this sad of a shape right now. Okay, I'm just not liking a whole lot about this game, guys. I'm trying to be fair, but there are so many games like this out now, like Robot Resistors and Crimson Dawn, that are just doing the Vampire Survivors game like so much better. I think that maybe to the developer, IndieGala, whoever's developing this game for IndieGala, I feel like you should have a target cursor, and maybe wherever your target cursor is at, that's where you're shooting. That would be a lot better here, in my opinion. But for the fuck's sake, why can't I use WASD, the keys I'm using to control my character, to move through this menu? That's just bad. I don't even care what I'm selecting at this point because I'm already frustrated because of the broken controls and basically just simple things being broken, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, this game could be good, but they need to get the controls working. And I would highly recommend just make a targeting cursor so that, you know, you're shooting in whatever direction your targeting cursor is at from where your character's at. They need to fix this game before we can re-review it. We're going to re-review, or we're going to play what we feel is the top, 10 or 12 of these type of games in December. And, I'll take a second look at this before we do our big battle royale between all these type of games. To see if this game has improved, to see if they made some updates or whatever. But right now, this game is lackluster, it doesn't feel good, and it just feels like it needs a lot more polish and work. Again, the birds are moving way too fast to even have any way of dodging them. Like, that's completely unfair, and that feels super cheap when you have no way of getting out of the way of a bunch of birds moving 300 miles an hour when I'm only moving 1 mile an hour. No. Carnage time? Yeah, Carnage time is here because we are done with this game. This is absolutely one of the worst Vampire Survivor games I've played yet. I know I played a couple of really bad ones, but this is a mess. And in fact, this is such a mess, and I'm so ashamed of IndieGala for launching something in this bad of a state. The fact that WSD doesn't control my menus, the fact that we can't shoot up and down because our character doesn't look up, character doesn't look down. It's just fucking broken. It feels really bad. This game, I'm giving a 2.5 out of 10. And it's not worth the $3. It's not worth your time. It's just frustration. They should have called this game Frustration. This game...
Dude, that's a good name. I like that name.
Yeah, Frustration. Well, Frustration here... IndieGala's version of Vampire Survivors just feels like they're just trying to jump in to, try to grab some of the money off of Vampire Survivor success. This game doesn't deserve your attention, guys. Not in this state, not until they put out some major updates. Right now, this game, at launch day, is getting a 2.5 or a 25%, and that's low enough to make a Zaxxer's Any Gold. And not Zaxxer's Any Gold, what am I saying? A fucking miss. Yeah, so far away from Zaxxer's Any Gold, it's not even funny. This game makes a miss. Miss number 287 is an IndieGala game. Sorry, IndieGala, but you can do better, and I expect better from you. We'll see you in the next video, everybody. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Peace.